Good morning, world. It's JohnWan.com of FileFile.com. Today is March the 15th, 2014. As usual, I was laying in the bed this morning and I was flipping the channels on the TV, and I happened to start watching the broadcast of local news here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was just amazed to see that the three top stories on the news at the time I was watching, which was about 7:30 this morning, involved young black teens. The one that got me the most was there was a 16-year-old yesterday that carjacked someone, and he led police on a high-speed chase, and the chase ended in an apartment complex. The teen that was driving was apprehended, but his two accomplices allegedly jumped out of the car and just ran throughout the complex, and they didn't find him. And I see this woman on TV, and she's saying, I won't sleep good. I'm not going to sleep good tonight. And then I saw another young brother on there saying, he's probably going to have to move. I mean, I picked up my smartphone and I sent out a tweet that, these brothers have lost their mind. They are absolutely crazy. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing stories of black teens committing crimes for decades. I mean, it's been going on for years. It's nothing new. It just seems like it's getting worse, and I honestly feel a tide of change where, people just aren't going to be putting up with these motherfuckers too much longer. You're going to start seeing a lot of people just killing them. You're going to be killed. And, I'm thinking back to myself, and I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but here I am. I'm almost 40 years old now. I'm a couple years away from it. And growing up, I was the motherfucker that was, when I was 13, 14, 15, I was the dude walking around with the bandana wrapped around his head. You know what I'm saying? The hood, I wore my hoodie around and, shit like that. It was cool to look thuggish, and that's what I did. I wasn't a thug, never been a thug, but it was cool to be a thug. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the Tupac era. You know what I'm saying? Thug life. So people my age, well, people I came up with, we walked around and we acted. Let me say that again. We acted like thugs. We weren't thugs. We were just acting like Pac. Pac was an actor. You know what I'm saying? The shit that we were doing wasn't, who we were. And, and I said this at the time when Trayvon Martin was murdered, because he was murdered by George Zimmerman. I said this at the time, that when I was young, I distinctively remember my dad telling me, don't you walk out of the house with that bandana on your head, take that hood off of your head, don't walk around in the streets, don't drive around with that, with your cap backwards, just all the shit that I'm seeing these young motherfuckers do nowadays. I came up being told not to do. And now, looking back, I was being told all this shit for a reason, You don't want to look like a motherfucker that's just a society's bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, I guess if I was a teenager, or if I was a young person in 2014, I'd probably be getting tattoos on my neck. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably be getting tattoos on my face, or, you know, I'd have a sleeve of tattoos all down my arm. You know, so I'd be walking around looking like a tattooed thug. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that if you have tattoos you are a thug, but it's just appearance. Appearance means a lot. You know, appearance and just all that shit. But what's happened is, and I probably went off on a tangent, but what's happened is, not only do you have these young teenagers nowadays committing crimes, but, you know, they're just, I think they don't have that person in their corner telling them that this isn't what you should be doing. You know, you shouldn't be walking around, you know, with your pants hanging off your below your ass. And I'm gonna tell you this, I came up in the late 80s, early 90s, and we sagged our pants too. We sagged, but, and I still sag my pants. I probably sag my pants, but my pants aren't sagged below my ass. You know, I started sagging my pants because I like the baggy look, the baggy fit. I don't want my ass to be, you know, all, you know, sticking out and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a classy way to dress. The bagginess is what I started sagging for, and the bagginess is what most people in my, you know, my age group grew up, you know, looking like. But these young people just don't have anyone there to show them what a man is supposed to look like, how a man is supposed to behave. It's just not there anymore. And, you know, I hate to bring this up, but I think a lot of it has to do with, well, I'm just going to be honest with you. Most of it, well, the whole fucking thing has to do with these dudes not having fathers in their life. And I just really started noticing that being fatherless has fucked up a whole generation of black men recently, since looking at YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? You know, you've got just a whole bunch of dudes just fucked up in the head, just fucked up completely because they didn't have that father figure or that father right there in the home with them, raising them up. And you need that. And, you know, let me, for instance, let me go ahead and I hate to bring myself up because, you know, I came up, I'm not perfect, you know. Hell, I do porn. I fuck hoes. But I will say this, though. I graduated at 18, went to college at 18, finished college at 22, got a job at 22, worked for 10 years, became self-employed, and I'm self-employed now. I do a little freelance work, but you know, I take care of all my responsibilities. I don't have the law out there looking for me for any reason. I haven't been to prison, you know what I'm saying? I'm not out there creating havoc on society. So I came out okay, I guess. But let me just give you an example of how my life was from the time that I can remember, I guess, since preschool. Okay? I'd get up in the morning. I'd see my dad in the bathroom, putting his tie on, getting his, you know, getting his sports jacket, sports coat, whatever you want to call it, getting that, you know, fixated on himself, you know, putting his dress shoes on, slacks, you know, getting his lunch that my mother had made him, walking out the door, getting into his brand new vehicle, because he got a new car every year, and then after that I'd watch my mother in the kitchen, you know, making me grits, pancakes, bacon, sausages, whatever it is I wanted that morning, you know, fixing me a bowl of cereal or whatnot. And after that, I'd, you know, go get in the shower, and after I got out the shower, my clothes would be laid out on the bed for me to throw on for school that day. And then my mother would either, you know, depending on how old I was, if elementary school, she drove me to school. As I got older, she'd see me out the door to get on the bus, and I'd go to school. And that was the beginning of my day. Okay? I'd go through school, and then I'd come home. My mom would be at the, you know, at the door. She'd, you know, she'd greet me. You know, she'd have snacks ready for me, after school snacks. I sit down with her, and you know, we do my homework. You know, she taught me multiplication, division. I remember her making flashcards for me. And a couple hours later, my dad would roll through from work. You know, he'd jump out the car. He'd have a surprise for me. You know, every day he'd bring me something from work. It would be a surprise, even if it was just, you know, candy or, you know, something like that. But he would ask, "Son, did you finish your homework?" And of course, I had my homework done. You know, so he'd check my homework. You know, that would take a few minutes, and as long as that was done, you know, everything was cool. Now, if I had fucked up, which was rare, because obviously, you know, I sat down and did my homework with my mom. If that was fucked up, I'd have to do it over again. You know what I'm saying? But it was done right. So then we'd sit down, and you know, the whole family would eat dinner, and we'd talk to each other and find out how our day went. I'd hear about, you know, my dad's job, and, you know, I'd hear about my mom and what she did that day. You know, my mother never worked. I guess I had what you call a, I guess my mom was a house, what do you call it, a house mom, or a house, no, that's some stripper term. My mom was a homemaker, I guess, that's what you call it. So, you know, so my dad was the breadwinner of the family. He was the only dude that worked. And you know, like I've always said, when I get married, well, if I do, well, I will at 60 when I finish fucking these hoes out here and having my fun. But that's the way that it should be. You know, the man should be out there, you know, making the paper and bringing the paper home and giving it to the woman to spend, and, you know, her doing her womanly thing. But anyways, getting off on a tangent. But that's how the day went, and I guarantee you that 9 out of 10 motherfuckers that you pull into a room and ask if they came up that way, they would say no, they didn't. But me and all the friends that I grew up with, that was our life, and I guess that's a rarity now. Now, granted, I came up in the 70s and 80s, and it's 2014 now, so not many people live that way anymore. It was kind of like the motherfucking the Cleavers and shit, Leave It to Beaver. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I didn't come up rich. I wasn't poor. You know, I guess just middle class. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's the way a lot of these brothers, if the family was intact in the black community like it was when I came up, you wouldn't turn on the news and you wouldn't see these you know, these cats running rampant in any major city, you know, just being reckless like they are. You know, you wouldn't see it. It just wouldn't be happening. So, like I said, I never thought about shit like this until I started watching YouTube videos and hearing about other brothers talking about how single mothers are ruining society. And in part, I agree. It is single mothers that are not doing a good job raising children. But on the other hand, you fathers are fucking up too, because you need to be in the household no matter what it takes. If you have kids, you should be there for your kids to create what was created for me. You know, you have to have a father showing you what it is to be a man. If you don't have that, you know, you've got these motherfuckers walking around, carjacking, and just frightening the communities that they live in, like I saw in the news today. Anyways, that's what I wanted to say today. Enjoy your weekend. I'm probably getting ready to go get me some Waffle House as usual, and I'm probably gonna jump in the Cadillac and cruise through the hood and shoot me a video to throw up on my website so I can make some more of this paper. Peace out.